I'm Judge Penny Wolfgang. The Buffalo Broadcasters Association has introduced the Hall of Fame class for 2022. We will meet some of them as we look forward to the big gala event. Remembering the lives lost during 9/11 at Patriots and Heroes Park. And thousands rocked Riverworks to enjoy music as art. Our hometown camera was there and caught up with Robbie Takek. Right here, right now, on the big picture. Hi everyone, I'm Penny Wolfgang and welcome to the big picture. In this special edition, we are at Buffalo State and we are going to be showing you the announcements of the awardees and nominees who are going to be inducted into the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame soon in September. Right here, right now, on the big picture. We're here at Buffalo State for the announcement of the people who are going to be inducted into the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame. And we just heard the list and we heard the names and we heard something about them, but we're going to be talking to our president, Katie Morse, who is really behind the scenes running everything, telling us, and she has all the scoop and she's going to share with us all of the names and all of the categories that we're going to be looking forward to and when the event is going to take place. Hi, Katie.
Hi, Penny. Thank you so much for having me.
We're really excited, Co. Why don't you kind of run down and tell us who's going to be inducted and what the categories are?
Okay, so we have a radio award. Susan Rose and Tom Darrow are inducted in that category. Television award, Ed Riley from my station, Channel 7, of course. For 40 years he was there. Steve Tasker as well. Of course, most people know him as a Buffalo Bill, right? But he's being inducted into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame for what he does in television, which is so much these days. We also have a behind the scenes award. Tom Vetter and Jackie Albarella are both being inducted in that category. Such an important thing when you work in television, work in radio. Sometimes you don't think about the people behind the scenes, but they are what are the people who are making everything happen. We're also inducting Gene Jankowski, Alan Constantini, and then Buddy Shula and Sheila Brown, who are both local to our area, working in radio and amazing people. Lastly, we're inducting Tom Fontana, and then we also have a volunteerism award, and we're giving that to Steve Reska, who is the chair of our board right now, who does a lot of work for us.
And a lot of it's our special anniversary of the broadcasters. I say ours because I am on the board of directors and proud to be. But there's a lot of special awards and people coming.
Yes, so typically we'll just do one person per category, but this year in a lot of the categories you'll notice that I mentioned two names, and that's because we're celebrating 100 years of broadcasting in Buffalo. And you know what, we want to make sure that we're honoring as many people as we can, and we figured let's have a big fun ceremony with as many people as possible and just really celebrate the fact that that's been happening for so long here.
I want to talk about the special people, first of all, who are going to be our MCs, and also the Lucille Ball Award.
Okay, so John Deschulo, of course, is going to be one of our MCs, Mr. Television here in Buffalo. He is so in tune with all of the history of this area, and not only the history but of the area itself, but the people too. He knows so well all of the broadcasters who've come through this city and who've made their living here in this city. So we're really excited to have him as an MC. Taylor Epps is the morning reporter, and she's a weekend anchor over at Channel 7 as well. And we are so excited to have her as an MC too. She's relatively new to the area, but she jumped in with both feet. She is on our Buffalo Broadcasters Board as well. She's helping to plan all these different events, and she's really excited to be part of this as well. And it's so important for us too to bring the younger generation of broadcasters into what we're doing, and Taylor helps us do that. Lastly, the Lucille Ball. Yes, we're honoring her with an innovation award. She is just an amazing woman, was an amazing woman. When you look back at the things she did over her career, she was the first woman studio owner. She did unbelievable things with I Love Lucy, things that you would have thought of, multi-camera shoots, shooting with a live studio audience, so many things that then became part of the game in Hollywood, and she helped develop with her husband, Desi Arnaz. So we're excited to be honoring her really for all the innovation that she had in this industry.
Now, when and where are we going to be having this great event?
All right, so we're moving locations this year. It's a good problem to have because we have outgrown so many venues. So we are moving to Samuel's Grand Manor, which can handle so many people. We're very excited for that. It's going to be Thursday, September 22nd. So mark your calendars, and tickets are available to anyone. Anyone can get a ticket. You can come watch. It's an incredible class to be inducted.
And how can they get tickets?
Just go to Buffalo Broadcasters, our website, buffalobroadcasters.com, and you'll be able to get your tickets there. You can buy a table. You can buy a single ticket. No, really, really. But bring your friends, bring your family. It's not just for broadcasters, though there will be a lot of them there. It's really a celebration of our community and of Western New York.
We're all so excited about it, and we're really looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Katie, for talking to us today.
Absolutely. So happy to be here. Thank you.
We're here with Susan Rose, who has just been nominated and elected into the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame with a radio award. Did you ever think that your career that started a little while ago, really, that you would end up in the Hall of Fame?
Penny, I had no idea, and this is totally unexpected, a very, very special honor. I have to say it's heartwarming, but not ever on the radar at all.
That's because you and I talked about this before, and you said you were too young. And I agree, you're too young. But tell us a little bit about what the momentum of your career was as far as radio.
You know, I always wanted to be in radio from the very beginning when I went to school here at Buffalo State. And Jim McLaughlin, back in the day, took a chance on me, gave me an opportunity, and I've never left. You know, he opened a door for me in the newsroom. I started in the doing traffic in the traffic copter in the afternoons, and then got into the newsroom, started hosting the afternoon show, and you know, eventually I ended up in the mornings. And it's been a great ride, and I have never wanted to leave. So here I am.
You know, something personally that happened to you while you were on the radio and while you were at the radio station, which is kind of unique, and I guess we should talk about that a little bit, since he's the proud videographer here today, as well as the proud husband.
You're right. I'm married to Tim Wenger. We met back in the 80s and got married in 1990, so we're coming up on our 32nd anniversary. And you know what? We both love the station. We both love Western New York. We've raised a family here, and we work together really well, I would say.
It's very unusual, don't you think, to be a husband and wife team in the media?
There are not that many, and honestly, we do work very closely together, which is also kind of unusual, but it works. It has worked, so we're really fortunate. We're really lucky.
And we're fortunate to have you here in local radio, and congratulations.
Thank you, Penny.
We're here with Sheila Brown, who is a winner, an honoree, an awardee, and a very, very respected human being here in Western New York, and very unique for the radio award, but she's done so much more in the community that we probably won't even have time to talk about. But let me ask you, Sheila Brown, a little bit about your career in radio.
Well, you know, I tell you, my career started in 1986 as an entry-level salesperson at WUFO on LaSalle Avenue, not knowing what I didn't know. 21 years old, commission only, and then I rose to sales manager within 3 years. Yeah.
And what is it like being now you're an owner, manager? How does that work? Is it difficult? Is it a strange arrangement when you have to start it on the air and end up in management?
Well, you know, my career, I stayed at WUFO for 14 years before I left, and then I left. I went to WBLK for a year and a half, then I went to Intercom, and then I went to WIBB, WNLO. And after I left there, I started my own ad agency. So I had a client that wanted to get on the air of WUFO, but I knew when I left WFO, I was coming back to purchase the company. I even wrote a book about it. So when I went back in '06, I knew I was coming back for a higher stake. So I piqued Sheridan Broadcasting interest on buying their company, and then I did in 2013 end up purchasing WFO, moving it from LaSalle to downtown Buffalo, because on LaSalle was a residential street, you know, so people didn't know the station was there. So now we're more visible in downtown Buffalo. So being an owner is definitely different on the other side. I am a salesperson by heart, so I'm always selling, you know, even as owner, I'm still out selling.
Well, we're very proud and we're very happy that we have you here in Western New York and that you've invested so much time and effort in making our community better. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all what you do, Judge, and you're always looking fantastic.
We're so happy to be talking to you again, Tom, because recently we had the honor of having you as a guest on The Big Picture. And now here you are, an award winner and being inducted into the Buffalo Hall of Fame for broadcasting. How does it feel?
It's very humbling, Judge. I got to tell you, this is in my professional career, this has got to be the biggest attaboy I've ever had. 58 years behind a mic. My gosh, this is incredible. I'm really happy. I couldn't begin to tell you how good it feels.
Do you know that people ignore Niagara Falls sometimes when we think about the broadcast area? And you've been such a good representative of that area. How did that come about?
Basically, you say ignored, but many of the top pros in this business came out of the falls. Rick Azar, Eddie Joe, Jimmy Thompson. I can go on. There was so many that came out of the falls and went on to big careers both in Buffalo and nationally too. So it's quite a launching pad.
You know, you once told us, and I think it's really fun to hear, about some of the really named people, like name dropping, that you've had an opportunity to interview as they passed through or came to Niagara Falls.
I'm going to tell you a funny story. This happened actually at Yankee Stadium. Phil Rizzuto was a good friend, and one time we were there, and I went up to the broadcast area to say hello, and I passed by this gentleman, and he says, "Hi, Tom, how are you?" And I said, "Good to see you as well." I had no idea who it was. And when I got to the WPIX booth, I asked, "Who is that guy down there?" He says, "Don Cricky." I said, "Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize him." So when I went back, I said, "Don, I'm sorry I didn't recognize." He says, "I used to listen to you when I was in school." I says, "Cut it out, will you please? I'm not that old." But he did. He went to Canisius College, and he used to listen to the rebroadcast of the Yankee games we did every morning.
And you still have enthusiasm for radio after all these years, right?
I love it. I look forward to every day to talk to the listeners and talk about my sponsors. And hey, without sponsors and listeners, what do you have, Judge? You don't have anything. So it's been a nice run. I've enjoyed it.
Congratulations, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
We'll meet more of the Hall of Fame inductees from the recent news conference at Buffalo State College after this brief break.